Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only person that does this, right? But since 2020, 2 years ago, I have tracked every legendary I have unpacked within each month of each year. So today I want to go back down memory lane and have a look back at legendaries in 2020. Then I'll do 2021 and obviously 2022. I'll probably do it at the end of the year because right now we're only sitting in March. So today I want to talk about every legendary I got in 2020 in every month. And I want to see which month turned out to be the best. Which were the best legendaries I pulled? Does it matter that some days might be more luckier than others? Because there are a couple cards here that I pulled on the same date, as in like the 8th of every month. So maybe I should plan my pack openings to be on the 8th of every month. I don't know. This is a little superstitious, but today I want to talk about every legendary I've gotten in each month of 2020, and also play along down in the comments. Let me know which month you think was the best in terms of legendaries that I either unpacked or won. So let's get into it. We're gonna start off with January 2020. So we go into status and we go into wish listed. Now there are 29 wish listed cards, but there was only one legendary I pulled. Okay, the Dodge Charger RT is just always here for the ride. So let's select legendaries. Yes, in January I only unpacked one singular legendary, and that was the Lamborghini the Lamborghini Reventon. I pulled this on the final day, in fact, January 31st, when I pulled this 3092, and as you can see over here, I've had it for 780 days. I've raced it less times than I've owned it in terms of days, and it has an 88% win ratio, which is pretty good. This car has not been influential in any tri-series, and I don't think I've used it a lot in any event in particular. But that's January, that's the Lamborghini Reventon, and let's move on to February. Alright, here we go. Well, February was a lot more eventful. Let me know if you remember these moments on my channel. So the first legendary I pulled in 2020 in February was indeed the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. I pulled this on the 2nd of February, as you can see over here, 775 days ago. And yes, this is a card that I've used many times, 3,719. The second legendary I pulled in February was on the 8th of February, so just about a week later, we had the Lamborghini Aventador SV. This was from a 1 million pack opening, and you know how it felt? Like, you know, 2020 started off with 3 legendary Lamborghini pulls, and these were the first 3 Lamborghini legendaries I've ever gotten. The Reventon was the first, the Huracan, I won it, and obviously the Aventador SV came afterwards. Moving on is the Bentayga W12. I unpacked this on February the 13th, and literally one day after, on the 14th, I pulled the Lotus Evora Sport 410. Now, if you remember why I pulled those two and how I pulled those two, was because I opened all 15 GE carbon fibers. Now, this is how long ago 2020 was. GE was a new thing back then, okay? So it was the GE finals for the Bugatti Chiron Sport, and I opened all 15 carbon fibers, and I have to say that I did get pretty lucky. The legendaries weren't good, but I did get 2 legendaries. So the Bentayga was the first one, because I split that 15 carbon fiber opening into 2 parts. I think I did 8 carbons and then 7 carbons. In the first part, we got the Bentayga W12, and in the second part, we got the Lotus Sport Evora 410. Now, on the same day with the Lotus, I also did a 1 million pack opening, trying to see if I could get another GE car to help me in the Bugatti Chiron Sport Finals. I didn't get another GE Legendary, but I did get the Roof Seat CR3. So the Roof Seat CR3 and the Lotus Evora were pulled on the same day, both being February the 14th. And then finally, to end off February, on the 16th, just 2 days later, was the Bugatti Chiron Sport. And obviously, I don't think I would have gotten this if I didn't have my 2-star, basically almost maxed out Lotus Evora Sport 410, and my Bentley Bentayga W12. So February was a pretty eventful month, if you ask me. We pulled 2 really strong Lamborghinis, a Roof Seat CR3. This is the first legendary roof that I pulled, not win. We had the Bugatti Chiron Sport, which was the best car in the game at the time, and then we had the Bentayga and the Lotus Evora Sport. If I had to rate February, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It would only be a 10 out of 10 if I didn't pull the Bentayga and maybe I pulled, like, I don't know, something that just wasn't a Bentayga. But yeah, I would give it a 9 out of 10. In terms of January being the Reventon, I mean, I would give that like what? 5 out of 10. But now let's move on to March. Yeah, y'all, March sucked. I didn't pull a single legendary in March 2020, so let's just go to April. Alright, so April saw 3 legendary pulls, and let's be honest, pretty underwhelming considering it's 81, 83, and 87. And the 87 was a 4-wheel drive Lamborghini Murcielago. Anyway, the first pull of April came on the 3rd. April the 3rd, it was the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640 Roadster. Now, I remember the exact moment when I got this. Let me just go to my car so you can see the ones that I actually have. Still bone stock. Haven't used it, and I don't think I ever will, unless there's some kind of like, I don't know, 2000 Italian convertible final, maybe. But the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640 Roadster, I got this from an Italian carbon fiber. I think it was an Italian Renaissance carbon fiber. I was looking for fused material. I actually remember what I was doing when I unpacked that. I was in bed, I was about to go to sleep, and I think it was like, I don't know, like 3 a.m. in the morning, and boom, legendary. And I remember texting the Discord, I was like, how am I supposed to sleep now? But yeah, not a very good legendary pull, but it was a legendary pull nonetheless. The Aston Martin Vanquish Zagato got me super excited. Now, if I remember correctly, I pulled this in a prelim or qualifier pack for a final for the Demon. Yes, it was the Demon. It was the Demon because this was the time of the Demon rerun, and it was Aston Martin ×5 as the requirement. I didn't win the Demon because I won it the first time, so I had my owner's challenge. So that led to getting the Aerial Atom 3.5, which was the prize car for the owner's challenge for the Dodge Challenger Demon. I still feel like until this day I've gotten scammed because the Aerial Atom 3.5 is absolute garbage. Now, to be fair, it has a very low 0 to 60 and it's also really light, but 91 handling at 1 star is incredibly underwhelming for a car of its stature and a car in its nature. This is a car that you expect to handle really well, and having it at only 91 is actually really underwhelming. The 0 to 60, I get it, it's very low, that's good, it's very light, but if it doesn't handle, I'm sorry man, you're not gonna bring much, you know, value to the table. Either way, April, I would give it, you know what, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. The Aston Martin kind of saved it, but the Lamborghini and the Aerial were just eh. But let's move on to May. Alright, so once again, May saw just 3 legendaries, and I actually only pulled 1. It was the Acura NSX. And the funny thing is, I did do a couple 1 million pack openings in 2020 in May, but none of them actually were legendary because the only car legend that I pulled in the month of May that I didn't win was the Acura NSX. And I remember very vividly that this was a car that was unrecorded. It came from a ceramic pack, and not even a ceramic pack from a pack opening because that would have been recorded. It came from an event ceramic. I didn't expect nothing from it. We got the Acura NSX, which in hindsight was actually a really freaking good pull. We've had finals where this car has been useful in, and I've never unpacked that car again from those carbon fibers. So I've owned it for 677 days, and I've raced it 1,215 times. I pulled the NSX on the 9th of May. The next one that came around was the Lamborghini Urus. Now I won this on May the 10th, so just a day afterwards, it was a Lamborghini Urus final, and obviously I won it on the first time. It was German 2010 and 2014. I didn't need to pull any legendaries to win this car like you saw in the Bugatti Chiron because I already had the legendaries from a long time ago. The cars I used were the GT2 RS and the Porsche 911 Turbo. And then finally, wrapping up the month of May was my massive win on the Aston Martin 177. I won this on May the 30th, so almost the end of the month. So in April, we've had a legendary pull basically just on the 3rd because the other 2 legendaries that I got in the month of May were just all prizes. But I gotta say, this was a good month. It was, you know, it's 3 legendaries, the exact same as April, the month that came before, but these legendaries are significantly better. I would rate the month of April, I would give it a 9 out of 10 as well because they're all bangers really. The Lamborghini Urus until this day, I mean, I have an upgrade in it, and obviously you can say that I'm a little bit biased because I love the 177. But that being said, we're now gonna move into summer where we go into June. Boom! June, here we go. Let's click my cars. These are the 3 cars that we got in June. Pretty average stuff, I would say. We started off June On the 3rd, with the Caterham 7620R. Now, this one did come from a 1 million pack opening. I remember this one, and I have to say, it's actually a really good legendary. Driver's choice and wild ride. It is incredibly light, given it's a Caterham, and it handles 94. Obviously, if you max out the handling, that's when you get the most value out of it. And it also has a very low 0 to 60. It actually has the same 0 to 60 as that aerial atom that we want from the Demon owners. And this one handles better as well. So obviously, the Caterham 7620R is going to be the better car. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be maxing this in Blossom Madness because it lost. Or at least at the time of recording this video, it's losing, and by a significant amount. I don't think that it's gonna come through. So rest in peace, Sasha. Obviously, the next legendary I pulled came on the 18th of June, so quite long actually. 15 days, 2 weeks after the Caterham pull, we got the Cadillac ATS-V. This came from a Cadillac carbon fiber, which I did not record, but obviously it came from a Cadillac carbon fiber because there was a Cadillac final, and the Cadillac final was for the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, which I also won on the 21st of June. So the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 was the only prize card that I won in the month of June, but like I said, you know, ever since the Huracan Performante, I basically won a prize card every month. Well, I guess in 2020, March was kind of crap, huh? We didn't get anything in March. But anyway, how would you rate June? Okay, we had a 90, an 80, and an 83, but the 80 is really, really freaking good. It handles well, the same as the Aerial Atom, which baffles me, and also it's a saloon and it's medium, so you can get a lot of value. So the RQ is a bit of a lie here. I think that this is a car that definitely provides a lot of value. And then the Caterham 7620R, you know, it's a Caterham. You can't go wrong with a Caterham. So I would say that at the end of the day, it's a very decent, good month almost. I would give it a 7 out of 10. But now let's move on to July. July, here we go. So for legendaries that I pulled, I only pulled one CTSV, but it's kind of hard to, you know, because I have 2 Cadillac CTSVs already. So I think it'll be easier if I just did maybe like all cars. Yeah, let's do all cars. So then you can really see the 4 in its entirety. So July started off on the 9th with my first pull, or first win, which was the McLaren F1 GTR Shorttail. Actually, the first one was actually the Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. As you can see, I do think that I do win them on the same day. So if I go into my cars over here, as you can see, the Murcielago, I won it 617 days. So in hindsight, this should also be 617 days. I got on the same day, man, because this was the final carbon fiber of the Call of the Wild 2 challenge. No, this was the first Call of the Wild, I think. So this was the final carbon fiber, and then this was obviously the prize card. At the time, it was the F1 GTR Shorttail. So yeah, we did start off July with the Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. Very boring stuff. It's still stock till this day. And then we had the prize, which was the F1 GTR Shorttail. Very beautiful car, but I don't use it too much. As you can see over here, I've only raced it 816 times. I guess it has more races than days I've owned it for, but it just feels like it's a car I don't use too much. I am using it right now, though, in the Gemera qualifiers. I keep getting qualifiers and prelims mixed up. But anyway, they both came on the same day, which was the 9th of July. So 10 days afterwards, on the 19th of July, I pulled the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Grand Sport, two-tone, ultra expensive hypercar. Obviously, when I won it at the time, it didn't have the two-tone tag, so it's pretty nice that it has it now. I do use it a lot because it's one of my best 2000 cars, but to be fair, it's not very good. Although I use it a lot because it's my best. As you can see, the win ratio at 86%, it's actually very low, especially for a car that has 97 handling, 97 RQ. The 92 handling is very weak. The 2.30 to 60 is good. Top speed is high. The MRA, though, for a Bugatti is weak. It genuinely is weak. And then we ended off the month of July with the Cadillac CTSV Sport Wagon. I pulled this on the second last day of July on the 30th. And that was my second CTS Sport Wagon. Sooner or later, we're going to start looking at duplicates. But these were the 4, like, oh, there, oh, it's all gone now. I hate it when you click all cars and the wish list goes away. But yeah, this is what July looks like. So 2 prize cars and 2 really, really bad legendary pulls, 84 and 80. If I had to rate it, I would give it a 6 out of 10. The Veyron isn't the best prize car, and the F1 isn't the best prize car either. Anyway, let's move on now to August. Okay, all things considered, August was a bit of a banger. This was one of the few, I would say this is like the first time I actually had, I think this was the first time I did I think 2 million pack opening or a 3 million pack opening. I think it was a 3 million pack opening special, and I got 2 legendaries on the same day. So both the Porsche Cayenne Turbo and the Lamborghini Aventador Coupe were pulled in the same pack opening stream. The first one was a Cayenne. Now this one's pretty interesting. Now I pulled this 574 days ago, and if you guys remember when I pulled pulled this. This was from a ceramic pack that crashed. So we didn't know what we got. The game crashed. We logged back into the game and then we clicked the held cars pull and we saw Legendary 1 and we went crazy. The Porsche Cayenne Turbo was the car. Really, really nice. 90 RQ SUV. It's quote unquote like one of the best German SUVs in the game. But although the Macan Performance Pack has a lower RQ compared to the Cayenne, the Macan is just better because it handles better and is lighter. The Cayenne Turbo is, you know, it's heavy. It's heavy. 2,094 kgs. And on the same day, in the same pack opening, so this should be the same date, yep, 574, was the Lamborghini Aventador Coupe. This night, you know, this continued basically the Lamborghini Legendary curse. Now I call it a curse. I'm pretty sure when I pulled the Aventador back then, I saw it as more of a blessing, but now it's definitely a curse, especially after the Murcielago pull we pulled like 2 days ago. But anyway, Lamborghini Aventador Coupe, I would say that this is actually a good Lamborghini. It's good stats, low 0 to 60, handling is good if you know, can put some upgrades into it, but it has good tags, right? Style icon, and Italian Renaissance. And last but not least, we ended the McLaren with the McLaren Senna. The McLaren Senna I pulled on the final day of August. Once again, a lot of months, I'm only averaging about 3 Legendaries. I pulled this on the 31st of August, and the Cayenne and the Aventador were both pulled on the 21st. So the McLaren Senna, I won this on the first time, and I absolutely freaking love it. It's one of those Legendaries that I definitely want to max, and as you can see, I've had it for 565 days, and I've raced it 3,270 times. Win ratio is a little bit underwhelming. This is a car that I wish was more in like the 93, 95 ranges. That being said though, I get so much value out of the Senna. I love it to death. If I would give August a rating in terms of legendary pulls, I mean, hey, 90 was the lowest RQ that we pulled, or won in the month of August. I mean, I have to give August a solid 10 out of 10. But anyway, let's go to September. Okay. If you thought that August was a banger, September was just out of this world. Okay, so September 2020, as you can see here, was a really good month in terms of legendaries. I want to show you the all cars, or what it looks like in all cars, because the moment I click my cars, you're gonna see a duplicate of the King Dong, because obviously I have 2 King Dongs. So yeah, let's just take this in. Okay, 2 Koenigsegg's. We had the birth of Blossegg. We have the birth of my GTSR. There are gonna be 2 max legendaries in this, by the way. The Pagani Huayra, the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, the Donkey, and the Gumpert. So basically, I pulled 4 legendaries in September, 2 eggs, 1 Donk, 1 Gumpert, and I won 3 legendaries, the Pagani, the Aventador SVJ, and the Dodge Viper GTSR. So let's click filter, and let's click my cars. You're gonna see 2 donks here, but it's really only 1 donk that I pulled in this month. So it started off early, okay? September the 3rd, I pulled the Pagani Huayra BC. Well, not pulled, I won it. And this was from... what was the challenge for this? I can't even remember what was the challenge. It wasn't Call of the Wild. It was whatever happened after Call of the Wild. It wasn't Riders of the Storm? It might have been. Was it that long ago? I think it was either Riders of the Storm or Ride of the Valkyries or whatever it is. Anyway, the next one came on the 9th of September, 9/9. It was the Gumpert Apollo. Now this was from a 1 million pack opening. You might remember me pulling this. This was my first European Revolution legendary. Now obviously we had a new update finally after like a, what was it, like a 6-month, 8-month hiatus of nothing. But yeah, the Gumpert Apollo, welcome to the garage. And then of course September 11th came Blossegg and the Koenigsegg CCR. Obviously, this was the Pops opening, right? So we had the Koenigsegg CCR, and of course, we had the birth of Blossegg. And both of these acquisitions basically led me to the Dodge Viper GTSR, which I won 2 days later on the 13th of September, which I do believe is Thomas Muller's birthday as well. So we do get this. I can't remember what I named. I think I named this Manhattan. I'm pretty sure it's called Manhattan. I have to go. I'm not sure. I just told myself that I was going to name the rest of my Viper legendaries after boroughs in New York, but yeah, I think I named it Manhattan. I think so, or is it Brooklyn? Something like that. But anyway, Dodge Viper GTSR. I haven't even made a post about me maxing this out on my Instagram yet. But yeah, 2 max legendaries in the month of September. Obviously, I didn't max them in the month. Well, this one I did. But this one I didn't. This one took some time. I maxed this eventually at the end of 2021. So it did take some time. It took over a year. And then on the 22nd of September, I pulled my first donk, which I do believe this one is the older one, 543. Yeah, that seems about right. This was the new one, right? Yeah, 12. Yeah, so it's the one I upgraded. I love to give priority to the card that came first. So the Donkavort came from a carbon fiber. It was a daily login carbon fiber, which I did not record. I remember waking up and I pulled this and I was just like, oh my god. That actually just happened. That actually just happened. But yeah, the Donkavort DHGTORS. And then finally, ending off a fantastic month of September, I pulled the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Well, pulled it. I won it. I mean, technically, I pulled it and won it, right? But the Aventador SVJ. So, if August was a 10 out of 10, what does this leave September? Because this is ridiculous, okay? We had a Dodge Legendary, 2 eggs, a King Donk, an SVJ, a Pagani, a Gumpert. 11 out of 10. September was an 11 out of 10. But anyway, let's move on to October, spooky month. Alright, so we're back to my average. It really seems that the average is about 3 legendaries a month for the month of 2020. We started off on Corn's Day. Corn's birthday. I remember I pulled this October the 5th at about 10 a.m. We did a 1 million opening for one of my best patrons. Well, I say best patrons. I love all my patrons, but Corn is one of the OGs, okay? A Nissan R390 GT1 road car, okay? We had to pull a Nissan. We have pulled 3 legendary Nissans, okay, in the presence of Corn. Can you remember we pulled this, the track edition that was last year, and of course most recently the GTR Egoist, the voodoo opening, right? So the Nissan R390, that's what started it all. My first Japanese legendary, can you believe it? The second legendary I pulled came Halloween. So we had October the 5th, and then we went all the way to Halloween, 31st of October. We pulled the Gumpert Apollo Basic, and this was from the Pure Pressure Carbon Fiber, Sleepy Sleepy. You remember that? The Pure Pressure Carbon Fiber, Gumpert Apollo Basic, and of course, since I pulled the Gumpert Apollo, that led me to winning the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which I do believe was Ride of the Valkyries. I think that was the tag, not Riders of the Storm. Riders of the Storm was Pagani, and then Ride of the Valkyries was Aston Martin Valkyrie. But obviously, I needed a legendary to win the final round. We got the Gumpert Apollo Basic, incredible pull, incredible scenes, and we won Valky, both on the same day on the 31st of October. Anyway, moving on now, we go to November. Okay, November. No, not November. Let's start off with October again, though, because I forgot to say, what would I rate October? October was, you know, the Nissan, the Gumpert, and the Vulcan. I would give that an 8 out of 10. The Vulcan was amazing, the Nissan was amazing, the Polo was amazing. They're all great legendaries. The Vulcan being fantastic, but none of them was really, like, super well, I guess the Vulcan was standout, but yeah, I guess the other 2 supporting cars weren't as standout as the Vulcan, and there was, you know, 3. It was legendary. It was average. Only, you know, for me, 2020. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But anyway, we're going back now to November, another banger. September saw 7 legendary pulls. November equaled that with another 7 legendary pulls. Absolutely insane. But I gotta be honest with you, you look at September 7 and then look at November 7. September was definitely a lot better, wasn't it? A lot of filler here, I would say. We had a couple prizes. So we had 3 prizes. So we had the Alfa Romeo Skigera, which was a prize. I got this one. Well, let me do it in order. The first one was actually the Murcielago. This was also a prize because this was the Halloween event prize. You could win a legendary from the Halloween event, and I won the Lamborghini Murcielago. It was given out on November the 3rd. The next one I pulled out was from a unrecorded ceramic pack, I believe, for GT90 on November the 7th. I also pulled this on an American Premium, but I'm pretty sure that was on someone else's account, and this one I pulled on my account, but it was unrecorded, if I remember correctly. The F-Pace SVR came on the same day with my AMG GTS. So remember I pulled, I think it was August, so 3 months ago, in August, I pulled the Cayenne and the Aventador on the same day, which is the 21st. Well, now, on November the 16th, I've done another 1 million pack opening where I pulled 2 legendaries. This time, it was the F-Pace SVR and the Mercedes AMG GTS. a bit more underwhelming. I'd rather have another Cayenne and another Aventador. The Cayenne remains stock till this day. The F-Pace has a 1-star, but my second F-Pace is still stock. So that was still nice though. It was a double legendary 1 mil. It's still very, very good stuff. And then on the 23rd of November, I won the Suzuki Pikes Peak XL7. Very beautiful stuff. And then we had the Alfa Romeo Skagera. Now I cannot remember what this was the prize for, nor do I care. I do not like this car, and it's completely useless to me. But I did win it on the 27th of November, and then finally capping it off 1 day later was the Huracan Performante Spider. Who remembers this one, huh? This was Black Friday 2020. I thought that I was done with my pack. I didn't think that was another car, and then boom, Lamborghini Huracan Performante Spider wants to say hello. What an amazing pull. This was a really good one, but overall, let me just click my cars over here. I was holding that back because, as you can see, I do have duplicates of the AMG and the F-Pace, so it doesn't accurately predict or depict every car that I did get in 2020, because we did get another F-Pace this year, and we did get an AMG GTS. Actually, the AMG GTS that I pulled was the stock one. The first one I have, this one is really freaking old. I pulled this in like 2017, 1,504 days old. Okay, that is like, oh my goodness. But anyway, it was still a decent month. There was a lot of legendaries, but I would say that only the cars that are the Ford GT90 and above, the Huracan, the Pikes Peak, and the GT90 are actually worthy. So I would give this, you know, giving a little bonus just because we did get 7 legendaries again. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Sure. And now we're going to move on to the final month of 2020, the best month in the year, December, baby. Boom! And finally, December. Okay, so let's begin from the top, okay? We started off with the Pagani Zonda Revolution. Once again, I'm showing all cars because I have 3 Cadillac 16, so I want to show it in... this isn't even 100% accurate because we pulled 2 wide bodies this month, which is a legendary in my eyes, okay? But yeah, the Pagani Zonda Revolution, I pulled this, the first legendary of December. It was actually December the 6th. And then the second one was going to be 3 weeks later on the 21st of December, where I didn't pull this actually. This was a prize, I do believe. It was a Lamborghini Gallardo first generation. And yeah, this was a prize. I think this was from the end of year special, something like that. Or was it a Thanksgiving special? I can't, no, it's not Thanksgiving. If I won it on December the 21st, it had to be an end of year special. I think it was called Rainbow Road. I think it was the Rainbow Road event or something like that. So we won the Lamborghini Gallardo. And then obviously we had the introduction of American Frontier, baby. December 23rd was the birth of Syracuse. Let's go. Obviously I maxed it out. And then we have my birthday pack opening. So my birthday pack opening, the 10 million special, saw me pull 2 legendaries, the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640 and the Cadillac 16. Both of them I pulled on my birthday, which was the 30th of December, of course, my favorite date. But I think the most special thing was indeed the double pull of the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. I pulled one from a 2018 carbon fiber, and the second one I pulled from a regular premium American pack. So after opening, I think, almost 100 Dodge carbon fibers, I never pulled a wide body from a Dodge carbon fiber. The 2 that I pulled was from an American premium of all things and a 2018 carbon fiber. But yeah, let me go into filter and click all cars. No, sorry, my cars, so you can see it in all of its entirety. No, you can't. Status, wish listed. Here we go. So obviously we have my Viper, Syracuse, maxed out. We have the Murcielago, we have the Zonda, which I won, the Gallardo, which is still bone stock, and then we have 2 wide bodies. Now obviously, if you guys remember, the wide body was maxed on the spot. So was my Syracuse. So was Dodge Viper TA. And then obviously, I think, which was the 16 that I pulled? This was the first 16 I pulled. This was from a wet weather ceramic pack. So it's not that. That was in 2019. This one was pulled, it was Conjohn's. This is Conjohn's 16. So this is the one from my birthday, right? Yeah, 443 days ago. But anyway, man, what can I say? This is also an 11 out of 10. We pulled 5 legendaries in December and 2 wide bodies. The wide body itself makes it a 10 out of 10. And the fact that we pulled a Viper, it's a really good month. It's a really good month. And on top of that, we pulled like the best Italian prize car in the Zonda Revolution. So December was a great month. In my opinion, looking back at 2020, my favorite months in terms of legendaries that I pulled and won would go to December and of course September. But anyway guys, let me know what you thought about this concept of video. I might do one for 2021 as well. In fact, I probably will, because this is like a nice little diary as well for me. I can look back at this video in like a year's time and be like, oh yeah, these are the legendaries I pulled in 2020. But yeah, dude, December, this part is my favorite, okay? The Challengers and the Viper, okay? The Challengers and the Viper. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and comment down below if you track your legendary pulls as well. I would love to know what you've unpacked, well, this year in 2022, let's say. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks. Pin up girls everywhere with the drop dead look. Swing it side to side as we slow down.